Hello and welcome. Come along as I take you on one of the most remote routes in Canada. I'm going from Baja at the St. Lawrence River to Labrador City, and this is not just an ordinary road. This is 570 kilometers or about 360 miles of raw wilderness. There's about 180 kilometers of dirt road involved, and it was rainy, it was muddy, it was slippery. There was a little bit of everything. I think there were even a couple of snowflakes along the way, but who knows? You can watch the video and find out for yourself. And I hope you enjoy it. So I'm here in Manic-2. I probably pronounced it completely wrong. I'm in Quebec, and this little town here allows campers to stay at the city hall, and that's where I am. So I'm the only one here, and it's a nice place. It's a little bit away from the road. You can see the road there in the distance, but this will be home for one, maybe 2 nights, and then we'll head over to Matane and take the ferry over to the other side of the St. Lawrence River. But now the rain is coming down, I think. Our walk is... Let's go back. We're gonna get wet, huh? Our walk is gonna cut short. We'll walk in a little bit, huh? But we don't need to get wet, huh? And you see the truck running, the engine. I'm a little low on battery power, and that's why I'm just recharging the batteries a little bit. The drive was not that much this afternoon. So I'm a bit stuck here. I was trying to go to a laundromat, and Google sent me to Rossi, and I get there and it's a regular store. The risks of trusting Google. Rossi is supposed to be a laundromat, and it's not. I just left Manic-2 in Quebec. I am on my way to Matane. That's where I will take the ferry tomorrow and cross the St. Lawrence River to start the journey into Labrador. But very beautiful landscape here, rolling hills, some forest here and there, some agriculture, so very beautiful. The town itself almost had, I don't want to say European touch. So more narrow roads, a few smaller cars, I mean a lot of pickup trucks too, but overall it just felt like it was a sidewalk, narrow roads, so it felt a tiny little bit like Europe, like France. If you have been there, you probably know what I'm talking about, but there weren't many people that wanted to speak English. I had a couple, but overall it's like I talked to a guy where I camped overnight, and there's a dog park, and he let his dogs out, and he didn't speak English at all. And before I was thinking, okay, let's get the phone out and use Google Translate, he was already busy with his dog, so no worries. But now I'm on my way to Matane, looking forward to that, looking forward to crossing the St. Lawrence River tomorrow. Whoa, I'm 110 now. Holy shit, what the heck? So I wasn't paying attention, and suddenly I see I'm going 110. It's like, whoa, this is only 90 allowed. I look in the mirror, I have a big truck and more vehicles behind me, just like tailgating. So it's like 110 seems to be normal here, but whoa, that is faster than I want to go on these country roads. So usually when I film, I have the cruise control on with the adaptive cruise control, so it measures the distance to objects up front. And I have the lane assistant on, so that when I film, I can look into the camera a little bit more often. Of course, I still have my eyes on the road, but there was a situation just a moment ago. For whatever reason, I was pushing the gas pedal down, and I didn't realize it. I was at 110. It's like, whoa, I'm going way too fast. It's 90 here. And I look in the mirror, and I have this big truck and several other vehicles behind that truck behind me, and very close. So it's like 110 here is normal. And I have to say, when I was in Manic-2 last night and today, they drive a little bit European. So that was not, I want to say, friendly driving there. That felt very stressful. People cut you off that just ignore lights and that stuff. So yeah, definitely a European touch to Amtree. So there's not much here. I mean, there's some little side roads here and there, but they're all dirt roads. I'm driving to Matane from Amtree, and yeah, it's lonely out here. I haven't seen a single vehicle since I turned onto this road here. It's about 40 kilometers. It's about roughly 27 miles or something like this. And yeah, I don't see any settlements on the map. Looking at my navigation system here, you can see there's nothing. And yeah, there's a whole lot of nothing out here. So I have my Garmin GPS on, and the live tracking, of course, is running. So friends and family can follow me and see where I am, and just in case something happens. But yeah, this is the part of North America, especially Canada. Lonely roads, lonely areas, not many people around. Pretty cool. It is quite interesting. Here on the left hand side you can see some pine trees coming up, and some of these pine trees are actually in yellow. So I don't know if they're changing color, if that's their normal color, because yeah, the entire forest. So here you can see this pine tree is changing colors. So it's pretty cool. There's like more over here. So I don't know if that's a special kind of pine tree, but yeah, they're changing colors. I don't know if they are just like supporting the other trees. Like, hey, you're losing your leaves, we'll do that too. So I don't know if that's happening. Of course it's not, but you get the idea. So it's pretty cool to drive here and you see pine trees that are changing their color. So that's a pretty cool view here. Holy shit. That is pretty cool. So we're moments away from some rain coming in. I already feel a few drops here and there, but I wanted to film this anyway. It's sunset here at the St. Lawrence River. This may look like an ocean, but it's actually the St. Lawrence River. So about 62 kilometers that direction is the other side, the other shore. I will be taking the ferry over there tomorrow to Godbout, and then head into Labrador over the 389. A beautiful rest area here where I'm camping for the night. But yeah, you see the waves coming in. Not an ocean, it's the St. Lawrence River. And if you look at the map, that is one mighty river. I did make a reservation for the ferry, which in hindsight wasn't really necessary. When I got to the ferry early in the morning and waited, there were not that many vehicles. The ferry seems to have a total of 3 vehicle decks, and yeah, we didn't even fill the bottom one. And so it was really a quiet ride. It was very interesting. It was fortunately not very long. I had to leave Shelby in the truck because animals, unless they are service animals, are not allowed in the regular areas on the ferry. Good morning from Matane. I am on the ferry to the other side of the St. Lawrence River. And what you can see here is the harbor area. The ferry is very tall. It's at least 2. I think it's actually 3 decks. But they only seem to be using the lower one today. It wasn't that much, but interesting boat. Definitely built for a lot more people, and it's October, so it's towards the end of October actually, so definitely not the main busy season, but I'm excited to cross the St. Lawrence River this morning, and looking forward to this next step of the journey. Probably not leaving Quebec today, but tomorrow I'm heading over to Labrador, which will be super cool. Never been to Labrador. I've been to Newfoundland, but I want to check out Labrador, so very excited. So you can see I am in my beanie and I have my hoodie on. It's definitely colder here. High temperatures for today is supposed to be 43, which I think is like 5 or 6 degrees Celsius. I'm still in shorts. Met a nice gentleman here in the parking lot waiting for the ferry, and he asked me if I'm really from California, and I said yes, all the way from San Diego. And I had a brief chat with the gentleman. It's very cool. The ferry crossing is for about 62 kilometers or 39 miles and usually takes between 90 to 120 minutes. As you can see here in general, the ferry was empty. I mentioned this before already, but going across the upper board and the other areas of the ferry, I was probably the only tourist on board. The ferry offers a lot of seating arrangements in different areas, and of course there's a small restaurant as well. I bought some breakfast and it was decent, not bad for a ferry of this type, but in general it did the trick. So we're very close to the shore now. I would say about 15-20 minutes before we arrive, but the sun is coming out. There was some rain. Not a whole lot, mostly some drizzle, but you can see things are wet here. But here's the other side of this. There are two different ferries leaving from Matane, and I took the one to Godbout. And one could say, yeah, my French is so bad, that was the only location I could somewhat pronounce properly. Godbout is a tiny town with really just a gas station, a convenience store, and if you blink twice while driving through it, you already passed it. Shelby is having dinner with a view. Because this behind us, you might hear the waves, is not an ocean, that's the St. Lawrence River. And we just crossed the river this morning with a ferry from Matane to Godbout. And this is camp for the night. Here is the Baja. There is the window for my view, looking out that direction, not too shabby. But it is getting colder, which is good in a certain way. The bugs are gone, so it's 48 degrees Fahrenheit here. And I have the heater running and wearing a vest. I'm still wearing shorts, but that's probably gonna change in the next week or two, so we'll have to see. Good morning. I'm still at the St. Lawrence River. Had a beautiful quiet night with the waves from the river just as a background music for sleep. It was almost perfect except for at 12:21 a motorcycle, probably a dirt bike, raced through. Let me show you the trail here. So it's not necessarily a road, I mean it's a dirt trail. It's a couple kilometers away from the main street. We're in a not very dense populated area, and there's a dirt bike coming through. Oh well, didn't bother me too much. I pretty much woke up for a second and it's like, okay, he drove through, he didn't hit the truck, all good. But look at the sunrise. Beautiful morning, beautiful. I just cannot believe how the colors are out here. And today is the day. Today we're driving to Labrador. Here comes Shelby, she's sniffing out the neighborhood. Yay! Yeah, come on. This is the trail. We're walking uphill for a little bit. So the sunrise is still in progress. Here you can see it a little better, but man, those are beautiful colors here at the St. Lawrence River. Fantastic morning. After this beautiful sunrise, I packed up camp and drove to Baie-Comeau, the nearest town, and also the intersection for the 389 towards Labrador. Coming into Baie-Comeau, I saw this Alcoa aluminum plant, and my guess is this is the largest employer in the area. I was looking for a place to get an oil change done, but everything was closed, and so I filled up with gas, bought all the groceries I needed, and then worked my way towards the 389. So I'm here at the 389. I just turned onto the 389 highway actually. So that's the road that leads to Labrador City. And the first thing I'm aware of is there's no gas station for the next 210 kilometers. And that must be around 130, 140 miles. So my tank is full. I'm ready to go. Let's go and do this. As part of my journey into Labrador, I will pass several of these dams. This one is Manic-2. I think Manic-5 is the biggest one. But yeah, this is what they do in the backcountries of Quebec. They produce power. And it looks like we're gonna drive across this bridge here. I'm not allowed to stop, but you will get a good view at this dam. And here's the other side. So that was Manic-2. We'll see when the next one is. So the speed limit in this area is 90 kilometers per hour, but it's very curvy, very steep areas here. So I'm going more like mid 70s, maybe into the 80s because it's just going downhill here. But yeah, very curvy, very steep roads up and down. And yeah, I'm not a big fan of pushing the truck so hard. So just taking it easy. I have all the time I need to make it to Labrador City. So the next really important stop along the way is Lake Manicouagan or Manic-2 Reservoir. So this is a lake, and I will put a map here or a Google Earth image in here as well. You can see it's almost perfectly round. So it's really one of the important or critical geologic landmarks here in this area of Canada, in Quebec. The lake really has this distinctive ring shape, so it's almost like an island in the middle, and it's a 100-kilometer wide meteor impact circle or ring. So 100 kilometers, so that's about 60 miles wide. So that must have been a massive meteor hitting Earth millions of years ago, creating this fantastic looking lake. And I don't have a drone, so pictures from Google Earth will have to suffice. I'll try to find some on Google itself to see if I can license them, but that's really the next item where I want to go and make a, I don't want to say a significant stop, but make a stop and check it out. Of course, when you get there, it looks like a normal lake, but knowing that it's 60 mile, 100 kilometer, almost perfect round circle, that is something special. The longer I drove on the 389, there was less and less traffic, and well, with this type of scenery, it's really exactly what I was looking for, so I was really happy and excited. So here's some wildfire leftovers. I cannot tell from what year it is, of course, but yeah, with that many forests here and trees, this is always a risk area. In Canada had a lot of wildfires over the last few years. So there's a small settlement here. I assume it's related to the dam, to the power plant that they have here. Manic-3 is very close. Grand Chalet. So there is a gas station, but I don't think it's open. Nope, that gas station is closed. Definitely not a town in the traditional definition, this is really just a worker camp for people that work here at the Manic-2 power dam that I just passed a little bit ago. And then here there's more electrical stuff coming. Some of the few signs of civilization here along the 389 in Quebec really are the towers and the power lines, all related to Hydro-Quebec, the main manufacturer of energy in this moment, and that is actually even exporting some of this energy, of this power, into the United States. But other than that, you don't really see much. I mean, when you get closer to one of these power dams or dams in general, yes, you see the related, I don't want to call it residential areas, but worker camps. And that's about it. Then you're back into no man's land. All along the 389 are these emergency phones, and they just recycled some phone booths. And yeah, there's an emergency phone here. I think it's roughly every 50 kilometers or something like this. I think that's roughly the time frame I've seen, but yeah, this one is not in very good shape, plus lots of trash. It has graffiti on one of the sides. That is the situation here. Then look over here, you can see the tower in the back. So that's a radio tower for Hydro-Quebec. So over there is the gas station, Petro-Quebec. They have a restaurant, souvenirs, internet. I think there's also RV camping for $55 a night, but I have plenty of gas, so I don't need to fill up here and carry on. We're close to the Manic-5 Dam, or Daniel Johnson Dam, what it's called as well. So we're gonna go and check that out. There is the dam in the distance. I'll find a spot where I can stop and film it. There's a not very small river here. So I completed the 210 kilometers without a gas station. There's a rush hour here right now. You see a vehicle driving by. I'm at the Manic-5 Dam, or Daniel Johnson Dam. That's the official name of this dam here. And it produces 2.6 gigawatts in power. I don't know if that's per 24 hours or whatever it is, but quite a bit. It's a little bit rainy here, so we're not sticking around for too long, but we'll check it out. I think there's even a road that leads halfway up the dam, so we'll find out. So with so much power pre-produced here on site, there are a couple of electric vehicle charging stations too. Pretty cool. Use it right from the source. The Manic-5 Dam really is a stunning engineering marvel here in Quebec. It's the world's largest multiple arch-and-buttress dam with 13 graceful arches and 14 buttresses stretching 1,314 meters. So this sign here explains us the curved road up the dam towards Labrador. So that's what we're going to do next. You can see here up to 17% grade all the way up, 10% down, 11% down, and so on. So that will be a fun ride. I'm looking forward to that. Shortly after leaving the Manic-5 Dam area, the pavement turned into dirt. And it was raining, as you can see here, and it's not really that deep of a mud, but it's slick. And that required a lot more attention for me to drive. If I remember the sign correctly, this was roughly 100 kilometer stretch, so about 16 miles of dirt ahead. Then it switched back to pavement later on, and yeah, more mud coming my way anyway, so you will see that a little bit later in this video. You can see this is a dirt road, overall in good condition, but of course it's still a dirt road, it's muddy. And we'll see how the truck looks like when we come out on the other side. So this started at Manic-5, that's the Daniel Johnson Dam. And I was under the, well, I had seen some information that the entire road to Labrador City would be paved, but I also had heard different things, so I wasn't sure what to believe. And well, this is what it is, and well, the truck is built for this type of stuff, so we'll be in good shape. But it's also a little more dangerous driving, so you have to pay more attention. Lakes like this one, I've probably seen a couple hundred today almost, I would say. They're like all over the place. If you look at Google Maps or Google Earth, you see them as well. Very beautiful. I can only imagine in summer it must be mosquito bug infested area. And I'm sorry I have to bring this up, but I just hate those. And yeah, I could not be here in summer, but right now this looks really beautiful. And there's another one over there. You can see this is a dirt road. It almost looks like paved on the one side, but it's like some sort of mud that is just hardened by all the trucks driving over. You can see I'm getting the 389 tan on the truck. That's how I call it. Definitely have to work on that, so not good enough yet. So now I'm approaching the Eye of Quebec. You can see the 389 routes on the right side of that lake, but you can see here on the map how perfectly rounded it is. So it's amazing, and I can only really imagine being up in the International Space Station, how that would look like from up there if they're flying over it. But in general, yeah, up in space or high up in the air, how that would look like. So very interesting thing. Too bad when you're there you just see a lake. I hope there's a lookout with some additional information. If not, I will try to make an effort to stop there somewhere and at least see the lake from the shore, and yeah, see how it looks like. The pavement is back, yay! And we're back on pavement. Woo-hoo. So there you have it in the distance, the Eye of Quebec. It's difficult to get to. There were a couple of private property places earlier, but this is the one where I think I have the best view, and it's not private. Very cool knowing how it looks from above. So otherwise, I mean, this is still a great view. So there was a small settlement with a gas station, but the gas station was closed. The sign right before the gas station said 251 kilometers to the next gas station. So my tank is half full, I should be okay. 250 kilometers, that's about 251 kilometers. It's roughly 150 miles, 140 miles. So I should be good. My computer says 219 miles till empty. I know it's not very accurate, but more on the positive side for me. Plus I have 4 gallons, roughly 4 gallons in my Rotopax jerry can. So I'll be fine. I'm not going super fast anyway, so my overall gas mileage should be decent. I assume there must have been some sort of wildfire here. The trees are very young. There are some stumps of older trees. I don't think this was cut for like paper production or industrial use of wood. So I think more like this must have been a wildfire situation, and now the forest is regrowing. Lots of young trees, very green. I can tell that I'm getting north more and more. The vegetation is definitely changing. I mean, it's a slow change. I also see more areas, not necessarily like the one here right now, but a lot of like tundra swamp type of thing next to the highway. If you look at the road and how it's being built, you will notice that the road in general is higher than the surrounding area. Not necessarily again here but in many areas that I've been driven here, you can see it. The road is definitely higher where all the trees are, and the same thing with the swamp. And I think that just has to do with the climate. After snow melt and everything, that is just mud and swamp out here. So hard to imagine how this looks in spring and early summer. But yeah, now driving through here, I definitely can see the change in the vegetation, and also notice that the road is just elevated in many areas. So the road switched to dirt again, and this seems to be, I would say, probably private land. Super large mining operation, lots of trucks and everything, and that's probably why the road is not paved. And I mean, this goes really just like left, right, left, right, left, right, train crossing, left, right, train crossing, and so on. So it's super slow, not very fun to drive, especially it's getting dark. And I had hoped to find camp somewhere, but this threw a wrench into my plans. So my one option is to drive to Labrador City and camp at a Walmart, which is fine, but that's still 70 minutes away. Shelby's very hungry, and I wanted to walk her, but now the rain is also starting to pick up again. So everything here is muddy. And there are two sites that are coming up a logging road, two campsites. But yeah, I have concerns that this is all muddy, and that I'm better off just driving to Labrador City and park on pavement, even if it's dark. But there should be lights at the Walmart, so it shouldn't be too bad. So I think I'll be driving through to Labrador City, but you can see the conditions are not great. Under normal circumstances, not a big deal, but yeah, when you have a hungry dog and the dog needs to be walked and everything, sometimes things just don't play out the way you want them to. Yeah, those are the road conditions here right now. I am on a dirt road. It's very slippery. I had unexpected oncoming traffic earlier and almost slid off the road, even though I'm not going very fast. I mean, right now I'm going 40 kilometers per hour, not miles. Temperatures are 37 degrees, so this looks like rain, but I don't think we're far away from snow. I'm at 1800 feet elevation, and I'm just trying to get out of here so that I'm not getting into freezing road conditions. I'm here on the dirt, and freezing road conditions is less an issue, but once I get back on pavement, it is an issue. So yeah, those are the road conditions. The not so fun part. And yeah, it has been really muddy at all the campsites. This is the part that sucks this evening. Another 15 minutes until I make it to Walmart, Camp Walmart tonight. But yeah, that's how it goes here. Train here filled with rocks and ore and whatever it is they're mining here. Road conditions have not improved, they have not gotten worse. We made it to Newfoundland, Labrador. Well, I better turn this off. Don't want to blind anyone. Made it to Labrador, part of Newfoundland, Labrador province. So, Shelby, you're coming home to your ancestors. So that was today's video about my drive from Baja in Quebec at the St. Lawrence River to Labrador City in Newfoundland and Labrador. This was one of the I want to say, most enjoyable drives or parts of this road trip for me. Going into these type of remote areas and really experiencing the raw wilderness of what Canada has to offer. That's the reason why I built a Baja. That's the reason why I really wanted to have the Ross Monster Baja and go into these trips. So I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I did. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so as well. And then I would say, I'll see you next time in my next video. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.